Why did you choose to do the Twice Removed tour and re-release and everything?
Well, a lot of bands been doing the sort of playing their classic record or a couple of their great records through. That's been going on for, is it 10 years now? I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah. Like the first thing I saw was when Brian Wilson did Pet Sounds, like in the late 90s or 2000, and then it sort of ramped up since then, basically, yeah.
We've wanted to do that, and the other thing that's been going on at the same time is that Jay and I have been archiving everything that we've ever done, so how can we bring those two things together? Well, we can take our collections and put them into an amazing 32-page book that goes with the crazy repackaging, and then we can, it's an excuse to tour. We put out a new record last year, and this would sort of in our schedule be sort of an off year.
And it wasn't really an anniversary for Twice Removed. It was more just like Chris said, we had this year open, and which is the best album to put forward, or if we're going to continue doing these sort of reissues, which is the best one to do. And I think it's the one we had the most photos and demo recordings for and stuff like that. So it made sense to do it first, even though it's the 18th anniversary. It doesn't really make much sense.
Is that going to happen? Are there more? Yeah, let's go with that. Are there more album tours planned?
I think so, but I think that we want to temper it with new stuff so that we're not just a greatest hits group.
Yeah, this tour I think went well enough. The Twice Removed, like the box set that we made, sold well enough. They're almost gone, and the tour did well enough. I think that it bodes well for doing more in the future for sure.
Where do you go next? Which one would you go to next?
One chord.
One chord to another, probably.
In a order.
Third.
Well, but then do you go back to Smeared for the third one because that's the first one?
Yeah,
so
we may do that. Yeah.
That'll be 2 and 3, and do you go back to 1 or do you keep going? Because Smeared is kind of outside of our oeuvre in a way.
Do you not play the songs often?
Yeah, we only ever play 1 or 2 songs from that record. Mm-hmm. I actually think I think we should do that one third.
Yeah, on game,
I think it's got I can't believe they're going to play these songs kind of vibe.
But I think there's definitely a high nostalgia factor for that record as well, too. When people, even when we do 500 Up or, like not even including Underwhelmed, but even 500 Up or I'm the Cancer, the crowd often goes, mental. They seem to really like it, yeah.
And it's the record that's the most, I would say, of the time. Like, it's the most early 90s sounding record. And from our second record, Twice Removed on, we never really sounded really of the time. I would say.
What about the tunes off Twice Removed? Has it influenced, I'm sure you playing them night in, night out, that hasn't happened in 20 odd years. Yep. So what's it been like? Are you sick of them now that it's almost done? Are you more in love with them than ever before?
I'm definitely not sick of them. Well, to me, it's kind of funny that there were some songs that we were forced to play by doing it this way. There are certain songs on the record that I think we would have never played otherwise. So it was fun to have the excuse or the reason to play them. It's really fun to play everything in order. There's like a certain context. We played Coax Me. We've been playing Coax Me for 18 years. But it's fun to hear it between People of the Sky and Bells On. Maybe that means nothing to you or to someone at home, but to someone who knows the record inside out. I hate to, it's hard to talk about myself, but I don't want to talk about something as being powerful or like meaningful. But I think it's possible that it was powerful or meaningful to those people. And
I disagree.
I just know as a fan, like if I heard other records in order, like what it means, like, oh, I know what comes next, and it's fun to hear them in that context. And I think that people really responded. But the weirdest thing about it is that Twice Removed is such a kind of sensitive record that the response is less like, yeah, I'm gonna go crazy, and just like, people might not be screaming to hear a song like Bells On, but then afterward, someone might come up to me and say how much it meant to them or whatever. They really connect emotionally to something, and it's something that's it's sort of embarrassing for me to talk about, but I think it's something that goes on and something that I'm happy about.
What about you, Jay? I mean, the life of a song, you write it, you record it, you perform it. Now it's been 18 years since the record. You're playing these songs again. Are the arrangements changing? Is there anything you guys are doing now to the songs that you're like, oh, we should have done that on the record?
No, for me, trying to be like a purist, I almost wanted to keep them exactly or as close to the album as possible. I even used the guitar that I used when we recorded the album, I think I'd be disappointed. My favorite reference is seeing Paul Simon when I saw him do Kodachrome once, and he did a reggae version. I was like, what the hell are you doing? I was just upset. Yeah, exactly. It was me booing from the back of the arena, like the back of the bowl. The only one that seems a little bit different, Loosens, is maybe just a little bit faster and has a little bit of guitar in it, it's a predominantly slow piano song, and it was sped up just a little bit because it's quite long, and I don't know if it's a Patrick song, and I don't know if he was super looking forward to playing it every night, but giving it a little bit more, just making it a little bit faster and putting some guitars in, I think made it more comfortable for him, but it's still not that far off. And I kind of thought the majority of the rest of the songs were pretty accurate to the record, so I kind of prefer that, because I think fans would rather hear the record as it was intended, as opposed to like, yeah, we put an extended solo on this part and changed, you know what I mean? I think it's better to keep it pure.
So you're writing on the road as you're playing Twice Removed every night. Does playing those songs influence the way you write?
Nope.
Not at all. So you're able to remove.
I don't.
Yourself from
I don't think.
Rice removed.
Rice removed.
I don't think so. Although for me, almost any song that I've written since Twice Removed could have gone on any of our records. To me, I'd like to think, or sometimes I wish that we had certain, like we'll get together and say, let's make this kind of record. I think we've only really done that once.
With which one?
Action Pact from 2003. We kind of said, let's make a streamlined sort of rock record without a lot of the eclecticism that our other records have. And I think we accomplished that, but I think we also, what one person would call streamlined, another might call unidimensional.
What about writing for other people? Does that happen? You mentioned one of the songs before was Patrick's song. Do you write with other people's voices in mind? Does that ever happen?
You mean all within the context of the band?
Yeah. Like say, I've got a song for Jay, or I've got a song for Chris.
No, I've talked about trying to do that kind of thing as an experiment. Like, what if I write, instead of a song for myself, I write a song for each of the other guys? We'll see if that ever happens. But Jay and I seem to work pretty well together, and I feel that Jay's, he's right here, but I feel that he, if I could just talk about him, he's open to collaboration, and he would say, and then there's a middle part, and then the next part is this, and I was like, well, I have a bunch of middle parts, I could barf one into your song here, and he's like, sure. But we've done that before, where I'll sing the middle part of Jay's song.
I kind of like that. I think that's a nice thing of being in a band, is having someone else sing a part on one of your songs, whether it's duet style or, like Chris said, singing a middle eight. But sometimes I'm stuck for I don't have a middle eight, and Chris is like, I got this little bit of a song that's just kicking around, and he lets me steal it and put it in the song. And I think it makes the song better, and I think it makes for a nice, when you play it live, like two people singing, and I feel like feedback from fans too, who seem to like that kind of, those kind of songs where two of us may sing on one track or something.
People like me who are fans of bands, I think, like when there's interaction like that. Sometimes for expediency's sake, someone will sing the lead and then sing their own backups, sort of, because it's quicker, but I always prefer when you can tell it's the different guys in the band singing. It's more romantic. And I also really romanticize the songs that do have collaboration, and I kind of know over our history which ones are the most collaborative. And
what are some of those? I'm curious about that.
Well, I thought that City Maniacs was quite collaborative. Like I think of it as Patrick's song, but he had the main riff and the first verse, but I helped him write the chorus, I wrote the second verse, and I would say that I even wrote the middle part. So I think of it as pretty much 50-50, and he lets me sing the second verse, and so he and I wrote that, even though I wouldn't have written it without him, but
Feels Good do it as well, I guess.
Feels Good, that's mostly him, but he gave me the third verse because it was a lot like a song of ours that went in the garbage, from our first year of being together. And I was like, that's a lot like this song, and he just let me throw on a verse of that song, essentially. So I love it when that happens, even though the songs might not be any better, or might not be historically thought of as any better than the others, but to me, there's a romantic nature of that kind of collaboration, which I enjoy in bands.
So we do something called 5 questions, 5 quick questions, 1 word answers.
Sorry, do you want us to do them at the same time?
Whatever you guys want. If something pops into your head before his, that works.
Okay,
come out at the same time. It's
whoever's wittier will go first?
Yes, whoever's wittier will go first. Here we go. Road or studio?
Purgatory. I don't know. I can't do a one-word.
No, you
would say studio.
No, I don't know.
I'll say road just so we can have something to talk about.
No, I would disagree. This was probably my most fun I've had on tour, the Twice Removed tour. I mean, actually, in general, I like touring, especially if we're spoiled and we have a bus and everything, and it's pretty easy going, and it's kind of like Groundhog Day every day. You know, it's just you have a routine and everything. But I like record. I guess if you talk live show versus recording or LPs, like I kind of prefer LPs because to me that's immortal or that lasts forever. You know what I mean? So I kind of think that's more important.
Lennon or McCartney?
Ugh.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You can't do it. McCartney, just because whatever.
That's like saying food, clothing, or shelter. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I think I'd choose food though.
The best thing about them is the combination of the two.
When you hear a song, what usually hits you first? Lyrics, melody, or rhythm?
Well, are we talking like a Public Enemy song? The melody. I'm not. Again, I can't partake. But I did have someone come at me one time saying, sort of like in aggressive ways, like, you guys rely on melody. Like, what do you guys still rely on melody?
It's music.
Was it Leonard Cohen who said that to you? Anyhow.
No, but it's just like it's like that person went on to talk about some painter who relied on colors.
Color on paint.
It's just, yeah.
I think they're all equally important. Well, I think a melody can draw you in, but I think everything has to be good. I mean, I'm sure there's songs I've written where the lyrics weren't amazing, although I've always tried my best at lyrics, but sometimes it's last minute. It's like, oh, that'll do.
The songs of yours that you
But I
dislike
think-
the most are the ones where you didn't put enough thought into the lyrics.
That's right. Yeah, I think so. I think lyrics are. I love songs with excellent lyrics. I hate it when there's a great melody and a good beat and the lyrics are throwaway. I find that the most upsetting thing about music.
I have nothing to add, but I will say
But you will.
that
One word.
I have lots of music in the can, and I hate writing lyrics because it's the hardest part. Because if you do a crappy job, then the whole thing sucks. And
But you write good lyrics.
but
I'd say in
I take my time
Yeah.
to I put a lot of time into it and try to do my best to. I've stunk it up a few times.
So I don't know, but going on the lyrics thing, like The Other Man is a ballsy song to write.
Yeah, that's
lyrically.
a good one. That's an interesting angle to come from, the point of view of that person. But I don't know. I don't have very many good ones like that.
Is there anyone in the band that finds lyric writing easily? I mean, you're both saying it's kind of hard. Does anyone have a...
Andrew seems to sort of like not easily, but just will write lots of lyrics. Like he'll jam a ton of lyrics, kind of Bob Dylan style, into a simple chord progression kind of thing. And it's something that I think that I could benefit from writing songs lyrics first, which I never do because I'm always trying to catch up to the music that I have. But a song of ours, like our first single, Underwhelmed, is super simple. The lyrics were written first. I would have never written that music in a finished form if I hadn't had lyrics. Anyway, I think it's good to write lyrics first, but I never do it.
Song you've written you're most proud of?
Can we pick each other's?
Yeah. Sure.
Is that fun? Actually, the one that I really liked, so it was kind of kicking around for a long time.
With one of yours?
Okay, now forget that question. What I was going to say of this song, actually, specifically, would be, it's on Never Hear the End of It, which we put out in 2006. It's called Fading into Obscurity, one that Chris wrote, and it's the kind of song that I was hoping that our band would play or work on. It's very, I don't know what you would say, like Happiness is a Warm Gun by the Beatles, or like Abbey Road style, where it's kind of 3 or 4 mini songs in one long 5 or 6 minute song. And I love things like that. Or the Who Sell Out, like they had a song called A Quick One, where it was just all little mini songs, and then it's almost like a little suite or something like that. And those are my favorite kind of songs. So I would say I really like that of his. And my own, there's a couple of really short songs that I wrote over the last couple of records that I really like. There's one on the last one called Green Gardens, Cold Montreal, which is really dense but very short, and I like trying to write those kind of songs. I don't know if it's successful or not, but that's kind of what I like.
Good.
Oh, that's all right. Thanks.
I've trained Jay over the years to write the kind of song that I want to hear, and he's doing it really well. And Midnight Mass from the EP is really cool too.
I like that
song
one as well.
of Jay's.
Yeah.
Jay's really has not blown it. Jay has a slow start.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
No, it's joking.
No, it's true.
No, but I used to write
when we
them-
have to
I
tour
used to-
Smeared our first time, we're like, oh God, do we have to play?
I can't wait.
In one word,
Oh God.
Sloan.
Well, you just said it. Sloan. What else is there? I would say McCartney. Whereas this idiot would say Lennon. Sloan. I don't know. I mean, you could say democratic or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that basically is the same as saying boring.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Tapioca.
No, it's nice to know that 20 years in, it's 21 years in, it's still democratic and everyone's still friends and it's still, like you're saying, fun on tour.
Yeah.
I think that's amazing.
What about mutual fund? Do you guys like my mutual fund?
I've always liked mutual fund. Yeah. That's what I'd say. Mutual fund.
You know, if one person's stock is down, the other people carry it so that it keeps gaining value. So we're the ultimate long-term investment.
Because everybody contributes, and that's right.
That's good. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, you got
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Or sexy. Sexy mutual fund.